Oh, 1 second. I didn't think this through. After getting so distracted, and then getting food that didn't suck, and resting my throat, I feel it's time to continue. I want to make a bunch of videos, and code them while I sleep, and upload them tomorrow. It will be lovely. So he's GTFOing that thought process, and okay, I can do that, but why? What does it do? It's been here my whole life and I could never figure it out. I'm not going to say much about it, but suffice to say there are just some things you don't want to screw with. There are outcomes that are even worse than the complete annihilation of existence itself. Forces more damaging to the integrity of reality than those capable of turning imagination into pure void. They are forces which, if handled recklessly, will nullify the basic ability of intelligent beings in all real and hypothetical planes of existence to give a shit. I don't think I'm following. You don't have to follow. All you need to do is turn the thing off, and then do the next thing I was told to tell you to do. You were told? By who? By you. Oh, future me? Yes. You could be telling yourself this right now, but we're sort of working on a strict no memo policy, which is your idea, of course. Did I mention how you don't like it when we argue with our past future selves? Yeah, pretty sure I did. So I'm going along with the policy as best I can. I am being pleasant and agreeable, and I will gently lower a magnificent, coruscating column of hot fuck you down the protein chute of anyone who says otherwise. Okay. Well, it sounds like a pretty good policy to me. You don't say. So anyway, because of that, my role at the moment is to act as a sort of go-between for you and your future self, to help along the process of making these plans, while your future self is deliberately vague about some stuff so as to not jinx the conception of the ideas in the first place, I guess. All while your current self is necessarily kind of dumb about everything. Hey! Sorry, okay, just kind of ignorant, because stuff hasn't happened yet. You know what I mean. It's not all that straightforward for me either, but I'm used to this sort of idiocy by now. It's a lot better than the moronic reverse conversation with Egbert I trapped myself into. Meanwhile, time is kind of running out here, where I am. We're counting down to something. Something looming on the trillion timeline, and no one knows what it is. And my team is kind of falling apart. I'm completely losing track of everyone and what they're doing. So at this point, I'm just going along with whatever there is to go along with. And that is... excuse me. Are you done? And that is you and your crazy future plans. And the scratch. No, you're not done. Holy crap. Food. Oh yeah, Dave told me about that. What is it? I don't fucking know. At one point I thought I did. I thought it was just whatever sent Jack here. But clearly it's not that simple. Aradia knew, but she didn't say, and then she went and goddamn exploded. You haven't told me either, because I'm not supposed to know yet. Whatever. I don't even care. Let's just do it. Okay, then. What was the thing I told you to tell me to do? Right now, I mean. Okay, don't ask me why, because I don't know that either. But that blue screen there. First, like I said, shut it off. Okay. Then what? Then you need to draw it. Draw it? Yes. And then? Then nothing, that's it. Examine fourth wall? You size up the arcane contraption. The blue flicker of the coat's lining is arresting, but you don't know it's a coat. That would only invite more questions. You don't know what it shields, nor do you know whose shoulders it was meant to cover. If you knew that, if you even knew his name, you would understand terror no human ever has. It's large Spanish. You should really listen to Karkat and turn it off. If you start messing with it, I will seriously start fucking everything up. It would be irresponsible for both of us to let that happen. You suddenly wonder where Jade Sprite went. You wonder that because I said you did. I know where she went, but I will not say. Not that you can hear a word I'm saying, the coat's too thick. And the plot twist was, Hussy was Lord English all along. Turn it off. Click. Aw, Jade, you broke it. Uh-oh. Build a fort. And they're capture log card shaped, and we're referencing Problem Sleuth again. In your attempt to find an exit, you have pried some paneling off the walls. but you're no closer to discovering a means of escape. So you have resolved to build a fort instead. You feel safe and sound in the cozy confines of your wobbly station panel walls. It should allow you to relax and pass the time while you wait for the only source of energy you are aware of to present itself. Go get help, Navi! Zzz. You have humored these antics long enough. It is time you slipped out the partially open door to seek help, since your beloved master has clearly gone stark raving mad. Advise, Prospedian Monarch. Your new queen is eager for your counsel. She wishes to know the royal itinerary she inherits. The itinerary, for now, is simple. She must wait for her fourth and final subject to arrive. It's counting down. A fifth exile, sleeping for centuries in the belly of the ruins, far beneath the desecrated idol once sharing its visage with the legendary speaker of the vast croak. Soon the writ keeper will awake and serve his new queen. It is then her work may begin. He's like, what's this? I don't understand a word of this. She would like clarification on the nature of the work, which you are happy to provide. You explain that it is very simple. As the new queen, she will be charged with bringing the Slayer to justice and rebuilding her kingdom in a new land. Her Majesty again is overwhelmed. Uranium, hot chicks, delicious sugary soda, the boy. And again, you explain she will have help. She may choose to appoint a wastelandic vindicator as her kingdom's hero, a warrior selected and groomed to face the Slayer with the weapon he protects. The true hero of Homestuck. But first, there will be tidying up to do. Explosives will be needed. If she were to appoint a brave armaments regent for her kingdom, she could be of assistance. Well, he could be of assistance. Oops. Gender bending without meaning to. Once the regent's task is complete, the queen must use the key to set the destination for her royal entourage. And once all the pieces are in place, blow it up, the vessels must be destroyed. Egg, piñata, apple, bottle? Blink for help furiously! Whee! You interrupt whatever nonsense these silly people are planning with an extremely urgent message! Well, just a moment. I'm actually going to translate this. Pause, damn it. Okay, I presume I made a typo somewhere, and yes, before you jump to conclusions, I'm aware that, you know, I could have looked it up, but the thing is, the fun part is doing this. Help, my friend is stuck inside the big can inside a small house he built. You must hurry. He is not very bright and he doesn't understand it when I blink. Are you watching me? No, don't. And this is where I think I made a typo. No. Blink me. You don't understand blinking either. How do people even exchange ideas without luminous rare ends? Poor Navi. Unfortunately, your simple message cannot seem to penetrate their thick carapaces. Doesn't anybody in this stupid desert speak blinking? Prepare to tidy up. You heard the new queen in town needs a powder monkey on the double. As the kingdom's new regent, whatever that is, you spring into action. Now this is something you can handle. Anything to take your mind off that terrible pointy head that fell on the illegal statue. Until you have to rig that one with bombs too, that is. Dream. In his dream, he is the Morse text. It is him. What a daring dream. Aww. To combine the finest qualities of humanity with the elegance and nobility of the animal kingdom. How you wish you could know their world. Like Jade's speech? To hear one night those muted paw pats traipse up your stairs. Reach. Reach for the monocle. A low but friendly growl unsettles your slumber. And as the sopor seeps from your eyes, don't follow him. They detect a sharp pair of ears cutting moonlight. Tongue. The mysterious woven tongue invites. And the mayor becomes a furry. Wouldn't these ears suit you? He becomes the mayor of light? Would not this proud long snout assist you in the hunt? In his dream, he becomes Jack Noir with a windy cap. Oh, burning veins. So much blood. But everyone's happy. Red miles. And you kill them all. No. A weird bug approaches. It must be your lucky day. No, it's Vriska's eye. No, it's a tiny Morse-speaking Vriska. Hey, you! Just what do you think you're planning on doing with that ring? Oh, I should probably leave off that part. Whatever it is, forget it. The Slayer is mine. Boot. Now wake up! I said wake! Oops. It's quite a dream you're having there. Now wake. Durst. She's gonna fuck your shit up. Here's you. It's all for naught, you guys. Well, that was pretty badass. Feels good for a radio, I bet. Land already! And a dead Tavros just flew in from above. That'd be pretty disconcerting. You're sitting there like, Dave died. And then suddenly... It smells like rotten ass milk chocolate. View Rose? You have already viewed this moment 100 times. It is no less confounding on your 101st. There is nothing otherwise unusual about the scene. A simple girl is understandably preoccupied by her handsome assortment of orbs, while surrounded by her ever-growing band of amphibious and reptilian acolytes. She's just been collecting consorts from all over the freaking universe. And then, darkness. You have one lead in your investigation, but she hasn't been very helpful so far. Contact Future Jade. Grim Auxiliatrix, GA, began trolling Garden Gnostic, GG. Are you feeling any more cooperative in this time frame? Password! I see. No, of course not. Please. I know you were talking to her shortly before... What did you say to her? I said password, fuck-ass! Wow. Whoops, sorry. I've been having too many password arguments with Karkat, I guess. I still don't understand the password thing. Past you doesn't care about passwords. What happened? Well, it depends. Do you want to have a silly conversation or a serious conversation? Which is favorable? Both are. But a silly conversation mostly doesn't matter or make the timeline more confusing than it needs to be. So we can have one right now if you want. In fact, I would say it is coming dangerously close to being one already. But if it is a serious conversation you want, then I'm afraid I must demand a password. Can we discuss a serious issue in a silly manner? Nope. How am I supposed to know the password? Because I told you. I don't remember that. Exactly! I feel like I am trudging waist deep through a slither basin full of your human surprise noodles. Yum? I understand this silliness is currently permissible, but are serious questions about the password nonsense permissible as well? I suppose those are acceptable. Why are you demanding passwords from me and also apparently Karkat? To keep the conversations linear. I give you a password at the end of our previous conversation. You have to give me that password to start our next conversation. This ensures that past you can't jump ahead to the conversation and mess everything up, like you're trying to do now. I am not trying to do that. I know, but trust me, it's better this way. When will I get the password? I don't know, I have no idea what time you're from. But you will get it. I gave it to you some time ago at the end of our last conversation, and I've been eagerly awaiting your linear and unconfusing reply ever since. Bye, Kania. Garden Gnostic, GG, ceased being trolled by Grim Auxiliatrix, GA. Contact Past Jade? It's a really clean way to build. Grim Auxiliatrix, GA, began trolling Garden Gnostic, GG. I'm appreciating our conversations from this time frame more and more. Past you is much less of a taskmaster than future you or pre-Blackout Rose. Thanks, I think. What do you mean by pre-Blackout Rose? I mean, post-Blackout Rose is a lot less difficult insofar as she is unavailable. Okay. But what do you mean by Blackout? I guess you'll find out soon. And then report it to me under extremely specific circumstances. which is good because I sure don't know. Yes, and that face is a good response. Your eyes are right to be swirled letters. What are you doing? I'm doing what you told me to do. I'm getting Dave to set up that expensive equipment, so I can start doing all that witch of spacey stuff you were telling me about. Which I appreciate since my sprite turned out to be sad and useless, and not very wise at all. I see. Well, I didn't actually tell you to, I was just being informative. Also, it isn't technically witch of spacey stuff. I was a sylph, not a witch. Oh, what is a sylph? I think it's sort of like a witch, but more magical. A magical witch? Yes, I'm completely certain of that suddenly. That's awesome! But regardless, I think our roles are approximately the same since we are both stokers of the forge, as well as holders of breeding duties. However, I should clarify that my earlier counsel was mostly academic. It takes weeks to do all of it properly. You won't have time. Breeding duties? Yeah. Please tell me that doesn't involve what it sounds like. What does it sound like? It sounds like it involves a lot of breeding. Well, it does, but not breeding through means typical of most species. Oh, does the equipment we are deploying have anything to do with it? It has a lot to do with it. It is cloning equipment much like what is scattered all over the Vale. The same kind responsible for creating all of us. Okay, then that's pretty neat. I didn't mean to alarm you by implying you were required to wage a great deal of personal procreation over a span of several weeks. Yeah, phew. Though it should be clear that repopulation is among our duties as well in the long term, and I've gathered that the cloning apparatus in the Vale is probably meant to permit an initial boost on the world we select for settlement. But beyond that, it is up to the descendants to perpetuate the race. And your species has quite an advantage in this respect. How so? Your procreation may be carried out by paired individuals autonomously, whereas ours may not, which is what makes my role particularly important. What is your role? I'm the keeper of the matriorb. It is an egg that will hatch a new mother grub. She alone will be responsible for bearing our young. Whoa, cool. So you're like bugs, like bees and ants or such, but with horns? I guess so, and you are like erect livestock, without the muscle definition, or the hermaphroditic physiology for that matter. But milk producers nonetheless, that rare kind of organism to nurture hatchless young within. Are you not? Yes. Yeah, she's a human female. And we kind of have a womb thing. You got the auxiliatrix key. Da-da-da-da. Anyway, I had imagined I would hatch the new grub on a planet in your universe, and when that became impossible, I quickly lost hope. I assumed it would remain locked in its card forever, which could only be opened when the orb was meant to be used. But then I found something quite unexpected when I was exploring this lab. I found a key. It was deep in the meteor, and as I suspected, it released the orb, which was really confusing to me for a while, until I realized what it meant, which is so obvious I'm amazed I didn't think of it right away. What? It means I am supposed to use it now, to hatch the grub in the heart of this meteor. Oh, really? You think so? Sure. There is no reason a meteor couldn't act as the center of our race's resurrection. They are themselves like large seeds, after all. The only question is whether we can manage to keep it from being destroyed, as well as whether I am able to raise a mother grub to maturity. Oh, wow, that thought is... Oh, whoops. She hadn't ended yet. Oh, wow, that thought is actually pretty overwhelming. I think you can do it. You do? Yes? Didn't you say your Lucis was a grub? Yes, she was in fact a mother grub, who relinquished her calling as matriarch to raise me. That's perfect! If you were raised by a mother grub, then you are in great position to raise one yourself. It is like a sort of family legacy. A really cool alien family legacy. Yeah, if you were raised by your parent, then you can raise your parent. Foreshadowing? Methinks it is. Okay, thanks for saying so. Whee! Iron Man rocket shoes. She's so lucky. Don't mention it. So how does this cloning stuff work? It's very involved. Like I said, you won't have time. In fact, it probably should have taken considerably longer than it took me. I was a little rushed. I want to try anyway. If you can hold out hope for rebuilding your race in the center of a meteor, then I think I can at least try to get a little cloning done when I have time left. With the time I have left. Yes, you're right. I can't imagine how you can complete the objective in the time given. But weirder things have happened, I think. First, deploy the pad. Yes, Dave is doing it at the top of this ridiculous tower. Why all the way up there? Didn't you say it needed to be in a warm place? Yes, that's right. My house is freezing now. It ran on geothermal power before, and I guess there's no heat anywhere inside this planet. That will probably change if you light the forge, but one thing at a time, I guess. Yes, I would like to hear about that later, but the weather seems just fine out here in the medium. Let's see how Dave is doing. Deploy cloning apparatus. Boing. It's funny how precise he is, considering that Rose gives off some level of precision with her whole, word choice and whatnot. And then her building for John's house was just like... And we have Dave over here, who seems like the epitome of disorganized, and then he builds this perfect column. Examine. It's so small. That's the appropriate size for the equipment. But clone babies can barely even fit on that thing. Babies? What? I mean young humans. You know, that we milk producers nurture hatchlets within? Yes, I know. I didn't mean to suggest your breeding duties involved cloning humans. Repopulation is not what's happening here. It's not your objective as the Witch of Space. Not yet, anyway. Then what is the objective? What am I breeding? Frogs. Sorry, I thought that was obvious. I can't get over how tiny this thing is. It's so cute. So the baby frogs show up on this pad here? Yes. I can't wait to try it. What are you laughing at there? Oh, well, Dave just has a lot of funny stuff to say about all this. What is he saying? Oh, you know, a bunch of silly stuff. There's too much to copy-paste. Here, I'll save it all to a file and send it to you. Garden Gnostic, GG, sent Hrrm Auxiliatrix, GA, the file daveisafunnyguy.txt. Okay, I'm laughing pretty hard at all that. Alright, how do I get started? You will need to deploy the terminal. Then you can start hunting for frogs to purify from around your world. Yes, they're all frozen though. Deploy a terminal. Boing. Okay, here's a frog on the screen. Oh no! It's the tiniest oats. Oh no! Is it trapped in ice? I would conjecture that most of them are, and will stay that way until the forge is brought to life. I think the event is designed to trigger drastic planetary upheaval wherever the forge is stationed. It did on my planet as well. Was your planet covered in ice too? No, mostly water. Cool. Anyway, I will try to rescue this frog. So I push this button to purify it? Yes, it probably won't do any good, but you can try. Okay. And though she tried, it was a dead frozen frog.